this next guest, talented artist turned author. Her first book, The Art of the Spirit. It just came out. It has 25 original paintings, and she's in town for a book signing tonight. Well, she's kind of always in town because she's a Nashville native. We've got artist and author Brenda Harrington. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Nashville's been home to you for many, many years, you and your husband.
Yes.
And you've really found, both of you are artists, but you really found your love for painting quite by accident.
Well, sort of by accident. I had always liked painting, and I loved art as a child, and I painted. I went to college and studied art, but while I was there, all of the emphasis was on abstract art, and I liked realism, but anything to do with realism was considered not to be creative. So I came away feeling like I wasn't creative enough to be an artist. And then I was at a point in my life, I went that way for about 30 years. I was at a point where my kids were grown. I was trying to figure out what comes next. And I said a quick prayer in church. I said, God, what do you want me to do? And immediately I had a vision. I saw easels with paintings on them, and I could even smell the oil paint. And I knew I was supposed to take lessons at the factory in Franklin. So I did that in 2010, and I started loving art again.
Oh, and boy, we are loving looking at your art. We're looking at a picture right here. If you tell us a little bit about it, Like a Dove.
It is a self-portrait, and I didn't paint a bird on my head because I'm a bird brain. It's a dove, and that represents the Spirit of God.
And who has been so powerful in your life. So this Art of the Spirit, the book's out right now, autographed copies over at Landmark Booksellers in Franklin. Talk about what's in this book and what you really want people to get when they gift it, when they own it, when they've got their hands on it.
Well, it is really meant to help people learn how to walk in the Spirit. It shows the way to have a relationship with God, and I like to say God's got me on a big adventure, and He wants to take you on one too. And it helps people learn how to have Him as their best friend.
And I think that's important of you sharing that message of the big adventure, because sometimes we feel a little empty inside, but there's adventure waiting all of us.
Right.
And so The Art of the Spirit, you have a book signing tonight happening in Franklin at Landmark Booksellers. Really beautiful space right there.
It is so beautiful.
Can we talk about this painting right here, which is just so incredible?
Well, that painting is Brian Welch of Korn, and it was exciting for me when I got to paint that, not just because he is a famous rock star, but at the time, when I knew I was supposed to do these paintings, I didn't know what I was going to do with them when I was finished. Like, I felt led to do them. And so I got a word from a woman. She had a revelation. She said, don't worry about it. It's going to be a you can't judge a book by its cover situation. And so I went for years not knowing how that would play out. And then I met some friends who were friends with Brian, and I had the idea of painting him with a halo on his head. And I was driving down the road one day thinking how cool that would be to do that painting, and all of a sudden it came to me, that's the you can't judge a book by its cover, because Brian is such a kind, humble Christian man, but you wouldn't look at him and necessarily think he's a Christian.
You wouldn't realize that he's walking so deeply in faith.
Exactly.
Seeing it in real life, you know, because I've seen this picture online. It's really a beautiful, beautiful painting. Thank you for all your work. The book is called The Art of the Spirit. The event starts at 6 tonight, so you can find it on landmarkbooksellers.com. If you go to the event page, always RSVPing is like kind of helpful to do, but pop on in and we'll see you tonight at 6. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you.
Beautiful work. We'll be back after the break.